Hi there, welcome to my views on news. Breaking news for you. Has Ethiopia deployed long range missiles on its border with Somalia? Interesting development showing the level of tensions between the two countries. And we know that last night Ethiopian Airlines announced a complete halt to its flight operations in Asmara. All Ethiopian airline flights to Eritrea are stopped today, though the deadline given by Eritrean Civil Aviation Authority to Ethiopian Airlines was the 30th of September. But Ethiopian Airline was forced to make an early exit from Eritrea due to some actions of Eritrean government. Details for you. Let's start from Somalia, viewers, where unprecedented tensions. By the way, when Ethiopia signed controversial MOU with Somaliland, tensions began then, but tensions were mainly diplomatic statements, diplomatic posturing, just a war of words. But with the entry of Egyptian military into Somalia, things are now rapidly changing. I did a video. I told you early in the day that Somalia and Egypt are planning joint military maneuvers in Somalia. Reportedly, naval, ground, air forces of two countries uh, and modern weaponry will be part of these maneuvers. Ethiopia is also planning to stage a military show to flex its military muscles in the Somali region of Ethiopia. So, after Egyptian military's entry into Somalia, things are now heating up, and now tensions are not just diplomatic, tensions are military too. Now, it is being reported by some sources that Ethiopia has deployed long range missiles on its border with Somalia. By the way, Ethiopia had no deployment, no large scale deployment of Ethiopian military, ENDF, on its border with Somalia. For years, this border is being protected by Somali Leo police. During Tigray war, Ethiopian military was relocated from different parts of borders to Tigray. And after the Tigray war, military could not be redeployed to the border. Rather, it was Somali Special Force, the Somali region of Ethiopia, which protected this border. But with Egyptian entry into the picture, things are now changing. Now, ENDF is building new military bases in Somali region. ENDF is establishing, strengthening, expanding its military presence on both sides of Ethiopia Somalia border. It is being reported that Ethiopia has deployed M20 missiles on its border with Somalia. No official confirmation. We're waiting for confirmation from the ground. Difficult, by the way. It's always difficult to get verification through pictures, videos, but people close to military officials say that Ethiopia has mobilized its arsenal of M20 missiles to its border with Somalia, which seems to be a message from Ethiopia to Egypt. By the way, M20 missiles are ballistic missiles, Chinese missiles. These missiles have a range of around 300 kilometers. They can fly at an altitude of 50 kilometers and they can hit a target within the range of 300 kilometers. Basically, Ethiopia seems to be sending a message to Egypt that you are not out of reach. If you come to Somalia, if you come close to Ethiopian border, Ethiopia won't tolerate your activities. If you try to destabilize Ethiopia, that is why even without entering Somalia, Ethiopia can hit groups in Somalia. This is what Ethiopia is saying, that you are pushing our troops out, but it does not mean that we have no reach into Somalia. We can hit whatever we want to hit in Somalia. What will Somalia do? Somalia does not have any air defense systems, any bombers, any jets. It just a few days ago received 4 helicopters from Italy. Somalia in the process of building its forces, but uh, we know Egypt has one of the strongest air force in Africa. I remember when I covered Libya war, I remember I did some videos back then about Egyptian military strength. Egypt has almost all the modern fighter jets and bombers produced by the US, China, Russia, France. Egyptian uh, Air Force is very heavily equipped. It has modern bombers and fighter jets, which it has bought from different players, different weapon providers from Russia, Americans, France. I think it has a Rafale to F-16 as well. Some modern Russian fighter jets and bombers too. Egyptian Air Force is stronger in terms of the number and quality of its jets and bombers if you compare it with other air force air forces in Africa. Let's see. Somalia and Ethiopia will have to stay cool. They'll have to know how to resolve their issues through dialogue, because the way things are heating up, it means that a small mistake can lead to a big escalation. Secondly, was why did Ethiopian Airlines stop its flight earlier? It was supposed to operate in Eritrea till the 30th of September last month, when Eritrean Civil Aviation Authority gave an ultimatum to Ethiopian Airlines. The ultimatum was till the 30th of September, that after that the Ethiopian Airlines won't be allowed to operate flights in Eritrea. Ethiopian Airlines tried to solve this issue. It asked Eritrea for clarity. The issue could not be solved. Then last night we saw a sudden statement from Ethiopian Airlines, which stopped all flights to and from Eritrea, starting from today, the 3rd of September, Tuesday. So what happened? Oh, did Ethiopian Airline retaliate? Or was it forced to stop all flights to Eritrea ahead of the deadline, which is almost a month away? Well, what is being reported by the Ethiopian Airline officials is that Eritrea blocked Ethiopian Airline account. Ethiopian Airline has 2 accounts in Eritrea. One is in Nakafa, other one is in dollars. The tickets in Asmara were being sold in dollars, but the ticket sale was not being allowed to be transferred out of Eritrea. So it means that already Eritrea owes to Ethiopian Airlines. The money, whatever money Ethiopian Airline has in its Eritrean dollar bank account, is frozen, you can say. The airline office in Asmara had no money to continue operations. That is why it decided to stop all flights. Eritrea is in no mood to let Ethiopian Airline resume flights in Eritrea. But question is, what will happen in terms of the account of Ethiopian Airlines in Eritrea? How much money is there? How much money Eritrea owes to Ethiopian Airlines? Now, it's not between Ethiopian Airlines and Eritrea. It's between Eritrea and Ethiopia. It's between the two governments. What will Ethiopia do to force Eritrea to pay back the money which it owes to Ethiopian Airlines? Let's see what happens. So far, no signs of any progress to solve this issue. Thank you for watching.